If I watched your social media feed for 10 minutes, I'd know exactly who you are. Why? Because everything you consume is shaping your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your identity. You're not just watching content, you're being controlled by it. You're being programmed by it. It's like 3 years ago, I was so addicted to those sad, edgy, the gym and the anime reels, and that had a massive effect on my life. It's like my entire worldview was like worsened because of that. Because I slowly started associating myself with those reels, and then I projected it onto the world. Because I just consumed it so much that my worldview just started being more like that. And I literally became a more negative person. This is actually why every time you scroll, or with every video you watch, or with every voice you let in, is either building you up to where you want to be in life, or is breaking you down. Most men unconsciously feed their mind with absolute garbage, and they wonder why they feel like shit, or they feel numb and worthless, and so many other negative emotions. And the happiest men that I know, they're absolutely ruthless about this. They will guard the information they input and accept into their own mind, because they understand that that truly is important. The information sources that we consume from really do heavily affect our lives, and they understand this core principle. And spoiler alert, that hidden trait is to be able to carefully curate what information men accept and input into their own mind, and to think critically about what is actually false or what is true, and what actually serves you and what doesn't serve you. Now that your curiosity has been satiated, there will be two people now. Person one, who watches the rest of the video, implements the action steps, and makes noticeable improvements in their life in the upcoming weeks and months. While there'll be person two, who makes no difference, forgets what I said, and then remains miserable. Now, chuck it in full screen because this shit is valuable. So, say you're at the gym working out, but your entire basis of your knowledge around working out has been one person, one information source, and that's who you got all of your information. But key thing is, they are stupid and they have no idea what they're talking about. You have been given garbage advice that, like, okay, you don't progressively overload, you do one set per body part. Stupid advice like that doesn't work. So, as a result, what happens? You train for 6 months, because people tell you, oh, you get results after a few months. That's when you start getting results. But you listen to that advice and you get nothing. You get nowhere. You make no progress and you give up. Because 6 months, you look exactly the same. And why? Because your entire basis of your knowledge is formed on shit information. Did you fail? No. The knowledge that you made an attempt on was false. This is why, even if you're doing the right things, you may be fucking up in life. So being able to critically think and actually look at multiple point of views can actually save your life so much. So do listen to that. But the next point is the information we input and that surround ourselves with. So we get information from so many different sources in life. So where do we get it from? We get it from friends, family, society in general. So like school system, that school system is massive. So much of our beliefs about ourselves and the world are formed in school. And then there's things like marketing, the government, books you read. The information we get from all of those shape our worldview and actually shape who we are, how we think about the world, and everything we do. So if the information is the cornerstone for everything, why does no one actually critically think about the information we get and how that actually affects you? That's actually a good question in my opinion, because everything we consume molds us to one shape or another. And you can either let yourself be molded in a negative light. You can have your parents, for example, saying your whole life, you're not capable, you can't start this business, you'll fail, go to uni instead, that's the safe route. Imagine your parents your whole life telling you you can't, over and over again. How is that going to affect your mind? You're going to have strongly rooted belief systems in yourself that are objectively fucking bullshit. And now you believe you can't because you've been imprinted that growing up. And a side note, that is how beliefs are formed. Beliefs about ourselves and the world are formed by the information we get when we're growing up, especially if we're told it by an authority figure. Now, imagine how you'd react to the world. Now, if you're constantly barraged with negativity, so say the information you constantly consume through your phone and shit is just completely negative. Imagine you consume the news, people are dying, shit is going horribly. You read some books and society looks to be going in downwards direction. You talk to your friends and they think, oh, the world's going to end. Imagine how you're going to now react because you have one information source, the other, and you don't know if any of those are actually true, but you're constantly hearing that and then inputting it into yourself and now form the beliefs, your worldview around that information. How do you think you're going to react? You're going to be so much more negative, even though that might not be your base personality. That might not be who you are. You might now be living an inauthentic life because just everything around you is just negative as shit. And that's partly your own fault because you're the one listening and you're the one consuming that information. Also, subpoint, I still can't believe, to protect people's peace of mind, that I can't believe people still watch a shit ton of news. Every night, half an hour of just negativity. Oh, someone died, someone got stabbed. Why would you want to hear about that? Okay, there's the argument of, I want to be informed. There are newsletters online where you can spend 5 minutes reading, okay, what is the actual important shit that I need to know? Not someone was stabbed. Why would you want to input that into your brain? It actually baffles me. If you want the objective, what's happening, fair enough. You want to stay up to date in the world? Fair enough. Okay. There are sites that help you do that are relatively unbiased, while the news is not a very good source of information, to be honest. Especially even if you're one of the people that would want to know about what's going on in the world. What can you actually do to change it? I'd like to think if I can make a change, sure, I'll want to know about it. But if I can't make a change or do anything about it, why would I want to know? Ignorance truly is bliss. If I can't affect or do anything, why would I want to know? I could stay in my own bubble, do my own thing, protect my peace of mind. Your peace of mind is the most valuable thing that you need to protect. And by proxy, that's the information we input into our minds. So yeah, now, audit your information sources. What do you watch? What did I watch? Okay, I consumed Insta Reels, YouTube, lots of video game content. That's what my brain consumed. And how do you think my brain reacted? You can probably imagine. So I want you to do an audit of where do you consume your information sources? What buckets are you pouring the water into? Picture there are buckets that are each topic. Picture yourself when you're watching content, you're pouring water into those buckets. So do you watch brain rot all day? Okay, pouring water into the brain rot bucket, and now your brain is literally just more fucking brain rotted. Is that the type of stuff you consume? Now for the next point. Your friends, they determine your life trajectory and what's going to be happening in your future. So you heard the saying, you become who you spend the most amount of your time with. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most amount of time with. Those types of sayings. And they're true for a reason. Because okay, bit of an extreme example, but if you hang around with drug dealer, party goers that have no ambition, yep, that's one side. And now the other side of you hang out with some gym goers, they love the gym, They love working on an online business and they are into self-improvement and they love talking about ideas. Okay. 2 different people, 2 different friend groups. What do you think is going to happen to you when you hang out with these people? You're going to be more likely to do those activities, think in that certain way, believe the world is a certain way. You're going to become like them. And that's the same with these guys. That's the single best thing you can do. You want to shift your life? Shift the people you hang around with. Because their worldview becomes your worldview. That can either be a good thing or a bad thing. With the people here, you could become more like a drug dealer, and I don't know if you're anything like me, you don't want to go down that route because there is no happiness or long-term fulfillment in anything that happens there. It's just short-term comfort for the sake of short-term comfort. But anyway, that's not the point. Another point is, if your friends are constantly negative about you, imagine all your friends talk about is shit talking about other people. I cannot stand people like that. Their entire friendship is formed on gossiping about other people. Well, kind of, I'm now gossiping about them. Fucking get what I mean. I strongly dislike gossiping about people. There's absolutely nothing to be gained by talking shit about other people. Except for making your own fragile ego feel that little bit better. And then bonding over that shared, fragile ego-ness. It's actually crazy. I don't understand, to be honest, but it's what it is. I would highly recommend to stay away from people that love to talk shit about other people. And again, think of negativity as a whole. Would you rather be around negative people or would you rather be around positive people? Again, who you hang around with dictates how you're going to be. Hang around negative people, you're going to become more negative. Hang around positive people, you're going to be a bit more positive. It's not rocket science here. So I have a video on self-sabotage up there. Go check it out. It's a good video. And that's it.